Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi Live Noding. We're gonna continue with our explorations of Sverchok merge 2D nodes. So Sverchok and merge mesh 2D. Okay, so we already know that these nodes is kind of like merging multiple 2D shapes of mesh and then kind of find the intersections, and it will also separate the shapes. It's behaving similar to Adobe or Macromedia Flash back then. Like years ago, there's an app called Macromedia Flash, and it's allowing you to draw shapes, and then you kind of separate the shapes. So let's actually simulate that using Grease Pencil. So I'm gonna go to top mode, and I will draw a couple of Grease Pencil strokes. So yeah, it's gonna be a little bit random. So, oops, whoa, so that's pretty bad shapes. So this is just like multiple shapes, and each one of them is kind of open. And let's save this as Grease Pencil Shape Cutter. I like to call it cutter, even though the nodes itself called Merge Mesh 2D. So these multiple shapes kind of intersecting each other. They're kind of open. They're not really a 2D shapes or mesh yet. So we're gonna convert this very quickly using Grease Pencil setup here. This is kind of like a macro. So just now I just did a Shift A and then search GP. So GP plus this macro will generate this Grease Pencil resample thing. I've done this many times in the past, but if you have never seen me doing that, so I just did. So now it's converting the Grease Pencil strokes into this resampled lines. So this is very interesting. So the next thing I want to do is to simply use here's the nodes that's called, so the node itself, okay, it's a bit strangely named Planar EdgeNet. Okay, so these nodes can convert shapes into, it can convert like edges into shapes basically, but we need to close the shape first. So before it was open, if I turn on cycle U, it's gonna close it, and then I can use this to create our shapes. So you got the idea. So this is our shapes. Turn on N-gon. If I bake it, so we have all this shape. They're all separate, so nothing special yet. But we're gonna merge it using this. The way I do it, I'm gonna join it first. Oops. Mesh join. So join all these shapes, and then later on for shapes B, I will be using just a plane. And hopefully we get an output. So if we will draw, give it a different color. Okay, we're not using mask or anything. So you can see there's these shapes that we generate using Grease Pencil, and there's also this little thing that's actually our mask. I'm gonna center it, and I will start to expand it. Kind of, yeah, you kind of get the idea, right? So this guy right here, the plane, is becoming kind of like the bounding box. You can actually clip, or like a clipping mask, you can clip these shapes like this. So it's almost like creating a puzzle, but you can have it like this with there's a line going like that, but that's kind of okay. So if we bake it, you get these clean shapes, and if I select it using right mouse button, select this and draw the wire, draw all the wire. So this is what we get. It's a single object. Yeah, you can, however, separate it very easily using polygon boom. So there's a lot of trick here that I'm using, but it's all becoming so easy thanks to the nodes, Sverchok nodes, very powerful. So polygon boom, if we bake it, it's really separating each and every one of these. So I think this is a very cool setup, very powerful, using grease pencil and then all this. Wow, we got so many shapes. But you can in theory just maybe just extrude or solidify these guys, you know, like so. Solidify, increase the thickness. Oh, the normal is always normally facing down if you draw the shapes. So select all the shapes, select this one last, Control L, link the modifier. So each one of them, each of the shapes will have solidify modifier, so they become 3D. So I really like this setup. So yeah, you can do the solidify inside here also. So solidify, I've done this many times, but I never get tired of showing this. It's pretty cool. So thickness, so it's just a single value of thickness, but since this guy is like separate, you can see there are 13 different objects. We can simply use random number. How many random numbers we need? 13. Okay, 13. Plug the value into the thickness, and we want to split the value. List split. Oh, actually not list split. Wait, we have random number. So we have the thickness, random thickness. Yeah, I think we can split the value like that. There we go. That's all the random shapes with different thickness. Yeah, I think it's not too bad. There's like weirdness happening. No, I don't think so. So if you now go back to the top view, viewpoint top. Okay, we should be in the orthographic mode. Yeah, okay, this is cleaner. Now I can try drawing new shapes. So I'm holding D. This is Blender 2.79. So I draw these shapes and then update Sverchok, and there we go. This is what we get. You can bake it. Now we have actually 23 different shapes. Bake it, and over here, if you really like the shapes, you can really just remesh it and pick smooth. It's a very strange way of modeling, or whatever you call it, designing, but this will actually work. Yeah, you got the idea. Basically, this can be a furniture, for example, kind of, or this could also be like some kind of buildings, depending on what you want to create. But so I call it like a random abstract pillow furniture, and if I create it as AR, that's what we have, and we can view it in real life using this USDZ AR. But the process is basically like this. I started with just random shape of grease pencil, and then Sverchok nodes will do its magic. It's gonna do the intersection of the shapes, etc. Like this. You can also make like a toy puzzle this way. I've done this in the past, but I think this setup is much more elegant. So this is the puzzle. Some kind of, yeah, furniture, random shapes, furniture or puzzle that you can put together, or you can even rearrange it. So yeah, hopefully you find this interesting and useful. Sverchok has so many nodes, and currently the developer is working hard to port all these nodes into Blender 2.80. This is again older Blender 2.79, but it has a lot of nodes and all kind of different algorithm that's really useful and already working with this older version of Blender. So yeah, give this a try. I'll give you the node setup. It's very easy to make, but I will give this blend anyway. So yeah, thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.